Hello everyone. Today I want to talk to you about effective ways to practice your presentations. So a lot of people talk about, feeling really nervous when they present. And then I ask them, well, how do you practice? How do you practice and prepare for your presentations? Once you've got the content, how do you go about making sure you know how to deliver that content? So I'm here to talk about that today. So let's start with what I see and hear about most people doing. I normally practice in my head. I run it through a little bit. Or I hear this one. Or I just keep reading over it again and again. I just read it over and over again in my head. Or no, I just like to wing it. If I wing it, I tend to feel a lot more comfortable, even if the result at the end isn't fantastic. So my recommendations for you are pretty simple, but really effective. Number one, when you go to practice, you need to try to find a space to practice which is as similar to the actual place where you're going to have to present. So if you're presenting in a classroom, try to go into a similar classroom, potentially into the same classroom, and try to practice your presentation there. It will definitely help you and get comfortable with your space. The idea is once you know the space that you have, you can start to, even in your mind, think about how you're going to use and own that space when you're giving your presentation. The second tip I have for you is practice out loud. Practice in a way that allows you to actually hear your voice out loud. Practice your presentation so that you can actually see and feel how you are when you actually deliver that presentation. So that means that you'll run through the presentation out loud as you will do on the day from beginning to end. And you will think about all of those important tools to help your presentation to be better. So things like, what am I going to do with my body language? What will I do with my hands? Let me make sure that as I practice, I'm looking around the room. So I'm really, really engaging with my audience. It will also give you the opportunity to see what other people see when you are presenting. A lot of people hate the idea of actually seeing themselves on camera, but I think that another great technique is to actually just record yourself so that you can see what we all see. Then you can see your body language, you can hear your voice, you can see how you're moving on the stage, and it helps you to know if you're doing anything that might be really distracting. You know, in the past, I've had students and clients who in our seminars and in my classes will realize for the first time that they keep moving their bodies around really strangely, or that they can't stop playing with their hair, or that they don't know what to do with their hands are crossed, they're stiff. Once you see yourself, you can then start to figure out what are the things I need to work on. So make sure that you practice out loud in a space which is similar to the space where you'll have to present, and also record yourself so you can watch back and give yourself some really important necessary feedback. You need to see what we see when we're watching you present. Okay, knowledge is power. My last tip will be for the fact that even when you're practicing, I think it's also important to record the audio. So literally you can have your phone next to you and you will record just the audio. So before you recorded you physically, the video, we can hear and see you. This time, just the audio. Why? So that you can hear what we hear. When you just record the audio and you listen back, your attention will be 100% focused on the audio part. So you can think about things such as pace. Am I speaking too quickly or too slowly? Your tonality. Am I monotone or do I have enough energy and enthusiasm in my voice? Pauses. Am I pausing enough? Giving people a moment to digest the information? Giving myself a moment to breathe before I continue? Do I have enough power in my voice? These are some of the really important key points to us understanding how we sound when we are delivering our presentations. So record the audio of your presentation, listen back, and think about and see what things you can work on and things that you can improve. It will really help your delivery to be that much better. And, well, I said the last piece of advice before, but in fact, this is the last piece of advice. I actually think that part of that practice stage is about you actually seeing and thinking about your actual presentation. One of the techniques that I often use with my students and clients is to get them to use visualization techniques. Now, visualization is exactly how it sounds. The idea is that you visualize you giving your presentation from beginning to end. And I say the beginning, meaning from the moment that you walk up onto that stage, you are imagining how you feel as you walk onto that stage or to the front of that classroom. You are thinking about and imagining your posture, back straight, body open. You are imagining your facial expression. So when you introduce yourself, you smile, you're quite open with your body language. You are literally imagining every section and every part of your presentation. You will run it in your mind from beginning to end, the same pace as you will deliver it, the same intonation that you want to use, thinking about the movement that you want to have when you're on stage, and how you feel when you are giving that presentation. I think that's maybe the most important part, is trying to make sure that in that moment and in that visualization, you are connecting your presentation with really positive feelings. You might think, I feel so confident, the audience is looking back at me, they're paying attention, they are engaged, I know that they're understanding and they're following, and you want to make sure that you radiate with really positive associations with giving your presentation. So visualization is something really helpful, and you can start doing it from the moment you've got your presentation together. So I say to use that in conjunction with recording yourself, recording the audio, doing a video recording, and this idea of finding a space which is very similar to the space that you're actually going to have to give your presentation in. Thank you.